Welcome to Between Soul and Sky. This is a soul-centered invitation to a spirit-led, soul-inspired podcast dedicated to guiding you on the evolutionary journey of the soul. Here's your host, Ricky from the Star Whisperer.
Welcome back to Between Soul and Sky for episode number 6, where I have a very special guest today, where we are going to talk about embodied alignment, integrating the mind, the body, and the soul. And today I have with me Lahari. Welcome on in. Thank you for coming here today.
Hey everyone.
Thank you. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Lahari for just a moment before we get into this juicy subject. For those of you that are not familiar with Lahari, Lahari is the soul behind the Spiced Soul. She is a holistic lifestyle guide, a spiritual mentor, and a subconscious rewiring expert whose work blends Vedic astrology, nervous system healing, and embodied self-care to help people feel safe in their bodies and align with their truth. She created the Spiced Soul as a reflection of her journey, healing her hormones, reclaiming her energy, softening into her nervous system, and remembering who she already was while becoming who she was meant to be. Lahari is not here to tell you who to become. She walks beside you as you come home to yourself. Whether it's through astrology, subconscious healing, or rituals that feel like home, her work reminds us that healing is not about fixing, it's about remembering. She's here to guide, to ground, and to hold space as you activate the version of you that already exists, one that's ready to thrive. And for those of you that are interested, I just want to drop this in here as well. You can learn more about Lahari, her practice, and everything that she does on Instagram, which is the Spiced Soul. And go ahead and drop her a follow if you want to schedule a session with her. All of that is available straight through the link in her bio on Instagram. Lahari, thank you for coming here and being able to do this with me today. I'm super excited.
I'm so excited. Thanks for inviting me for your podcast.
Definitely. And I love what in your bio, this idea of remembering who we are. That is something that I am a huge advocate of. And so I want to kind of get the conversation started. And if you could share with us a little bit about your personal journey, your spiritual journey, and kind of how are you here today with the wisdom that you have that you're sharing with us?
Yeah. For me, I don't think it was one single incident that started the spiritual journey, but if I have to start telling my story, it started back in 2019. I had just moved to Nashville after my master's, where I did it in Pennsylvania. So it wasn't my choice to move there. So that was the first hurdle of first time out of India, being an immigrant and moving to Nashville where I don't know anybody for work, wherein all my closest friends, my roommates are still back in Pennsylvania. So that felt like, okay, what I'm going to do in this city completely by myself, alone, lonely, like so new, like it can feel like excitement and freedom and independence, but it didn't. It didn't feel
Yeah.
like that. It felt like I had to leave all these people who are still together there. And I'm the only one traveling miles away, like so far away from Pennsylvania to Tennessee. I didn't expect that loneliness to feel so physical. Like it was literally like a weight on my chest, everything I had to do. Um, so at that time, I think the 3, 4 months that I started my job, it was kind of like I was just surviving, trying to survive, trying to figure out the distance, the physical distance also led to heartbreaks in friendships and relationships. And at the same time, I had to learn and pick up and get started on my job. So I couldn't lag and like be like, oh, I have something going on emotionally. So it's okay, give me a break. No, that's not possible. So at this time, I think I moved there in late of October 2019. 3.5, 4 months later, COVID hit, March of 2020. And imagine this, literally don't have anyone, don't know anyone. And then now again, I have to go back into isolation. and live in my apartment. So I think at that time, I really needed something to hold on to, something to believe in, like that belief faith. I didn't even know what belief or faith was then. Like, okay, I want to be sane. I don't want those anxious thoughts running in my mind. Like, can I keep my mind quiet so I can at least do my job, keep my job? And I think at that moment, one day I clearly remember I was working from office before COVID, um, plugged in my earphones, wired earphones, and I just opened up YouTube because sometimes I listen to some music when I'm working
Yeah.
and stumbled upon these Tibetan bowl sounds and these frequencies, the solfeggio frequencies. Like, what is this? Can it shut the anxious voice in my mind? Can it help me focus at least for a few seconds, few minutes, where I can produce some productive work to my leads, to my manager? And can I just go through this day? I
Yeah.
listened to it once, I listened to it twice. I didn't know what I was supposed to feel, but I felt something in my body. It wasn't an immediate feeling of calmness or groundness. It was actually like overwhelmed. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna die. Like all these things are gonna come out. So I couldn't even finish listening that. But I think the more I did, the more it felt like I have an opportunity and an outlet for all these emotions. That's when it started like, okay, this does some things. Why? I was trying to Google and figure out what are these? Why do they make me calm? I dive deep into this, and the next thing I stumbled upon is those pick a pile tarot card readings. And there were these two, three astrologers. I didn't know them. Nobody recommended them. It was just like, you're like searching for something, even if it's 1% or this tiny bit of hope, which can kind of keep you safe and maybe like save me.
Yeah.
And I stumbled upon those astrologers. I think they were doing it for 20, 30 years of their life, and they're amazing. I really want to go back and see, but I cannot remember their account. Maybe I need to find that.
Yeah.
And I saw like, so it happened in November, December, Jan, right? Like, so probably December, Virgo monthly reading or something. So in zodiac, tropical
Yeah.
astrology, I'm a Virgo sun. So I immediately went to that. Okay, it resonated. Why? I don't know. And then I watched again, and then just pick a card I was watching because you search for all these things when you're literally hopeless and scared,
100%.
terrified. And that's what made me connect. Like, how are strangers across the screen talking about exactly what I'm going through? And
Yeah.
I think that made me feel seen and understood for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
And I guess in that time where physically I couldn't connect with anybody or feel safe with anybody because they were still strangers, my colleagues. It was just 2, 3 months. You cannot immediately have like close friendships then. And my close friends were all back, like very far away, like in Pennsylvania. And so I'm like, okay, I am being validated, I'm being seen, I'm gonna lean into this. It's
Yeah.
okay. Was it a good choice, bad choice? I don't know. But I think that moment that led to me discovering these tools, which in you could say the most heartbroken, lonely, alone time of my life, they held me. They kept me
Absolutely.
safe. They kept me sane. And from that moment, I never stopped. I got very curious and I started exploring deeper and deeper and deeper. And probably a few months later, I got my first Vedic astrology per chart reading.
Mhm.
And the first time they read my chart, like I had 12 to 15 questions emailed to
Yeah.
them. These are all the things that I want to know about me. Like, can you? They were
Yeah.
like, I'm still in touch with them. Like, I'm very grateful for my Vedic astrologer. And I think for me to be on your podcast or for me to have clients, I think it started back then in 2020 because
Yeah.
as soon as I had that first reading, like with so much patience, with so much wisdom, the way he answered all my questions, I felt like I was very specific and I was very like, it was all over the place. But it was finally like, okay, this is my manual of life. And so, like, probably I had lost. And now I'm getting all these answers. And some of the answers were like, I didn't even ask these questions, but I'm getting the answers.
Yeah,
It was mind blowing.
I love
So,
it.
yeah, like
I
that's beauty.
Yeah, no, I love what you said too, because I think this is why I always say to people that when we go through heartbreak or when we're going through something that's incredibly difficult, um, in the tarot we call it the tower. And I always say, hug the tower, welcome the tower, allow the tower into your life, because when you do and you kind of engage with it,
Yes,
there's a magic that comes out of it where look at where you are today. And
yes,
so there's something to it that is so beautiful that in the hurt, there's a gift.
yep.
And you are, or you unpacked that gift or unwrapped that gift and now you're here. Um, so
That
tell us a little bit about this idea of embodied alignment or reclaiming alignment. What does this mean to you? Um, and yeah, what does this mean to you? We'll start there.
um I think embodied alignment for me means like when my nervous system is, I would say, like in simple terms, if anybody wants to understand, you can be in the present moment, you can be still, you can be not doing anything, and you feel fine, you feel calm, you feel at peace. You're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking about the future. It's just total presence in the present moment. That's the groundedness, that's the nervous system being in a regulated state. For me to discover that, even embody that, or even figure out, oh, what the hell is nervous system regulation? Like, how do we get there? It was quite a bit of a journey because I think when everything that happened in 2019, 2020, like with the COVID and all of that stuff, and me being isolation, um, if we move forward to 2021, that's when like my actual healing process started, or when I took um, intentional steps towards healing myself. So I did one-on-one coaching with one of my best friends now, but back then she was my coach, like subconscious mind breakthrough coach. Like I did 3 months of that, like where it was all about healing our limiting beliefs, rewiring those stuff. Like, so that led to me working with my mind. I had already started working with the soul aspect in 2020, right? When listening to the Tibetan both sounds, getting reading from psychics, getting my birth chart done. But the one aspect, which was my body, I always cared about my body. Like I always ate healthy because I love cooking, all of that part. But I think I didn't nourish my body the way it needed it to be. I didn't listen to, or I didn't align with it the way I needed to be, or the way I'm doing right now back then. So in 2021, that's when I actually launched the Spiced Soul, because a close another, you could say, level of like heartbreak, like my grandfather passed away to cancer, so that broke me open again, and I wasn't able to figure out how to process that grief. And I think I was finally ready to let things go so I can let new things in. So with all these aspects, the embodiment aspect came much later, you could say like in 23, or like last year in 2024, when I took a huge leap of faith and like I want to balance my hormones, regulate my hormones, and take care of my body. Take care of my body because I do have PCOS. So if somebody doesn't know, it's a polycystic ovary syndrome. It's become quite common in women these days. It can start anywhere in late teens to early 20s, anytime. Um, it can be for women, like you would have imbalance in your hormones leading to a lot of issues like acne, bloating, or infertility, all of that stuff. When I took that leap of faith and I decided I'm going to be quitting the medication birth control to naturally, holistically heal my body, I realized I know my birth chart. I do all of that stuff. I meditate or I align with my sun, moon, and rising, do those things. I do EFT tapping. I do affirmations. I do all those, use those tools and modalities for my mind. But for my body, I wasn't regularly working out. I wasn't slowing down. I wasn't regulating my nervous system. I wasn't actually being like human being and human living. I was just doing and doing and doing.
Yeah.
So that's when I slowed down. For me, I realized I cannot do things separately. My soul, like it already knows everything, right? We are just trying to align to it. Like it knows all the answers. It's like probably years or thousands of millions of years old. Mind is like a supercomputer, which runs at a very different speed. I somehow feel it's very easy to rewire your mind than heal your body because your body remembers so many things your mind can actually forget. So, embodied alignment is not just doing all the things that you know you can do, but it's about um, recognizing, slowing down, and trying to come back to present as often as you can. It's easy to stay in the past, it's easy to stay in the present. So something I can suggest people who are listening, the most easiest, but still the best way is being grateful, gratitude.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, because like,
Love it.
yes, you might not have your dreams, you might not have your dream house, dream job, dream body, salary, but do you still have food for 3 meals? Do you still have water? Do you still have fresh air, sunlight? So I started doing these things like gratitude journaling. First thing in the morning, 3 things that you're grateful for that you already have in your life. It can be as simple as I have a nice warm bed to sleep in. I have water to drink every day. Just 3 things. In the beginning, it can feel funny or like, I don't know what to write. Just write what you see where you are living. And then the next 3 things would be the things that you want to manifest, but you write as if it's you've already manifested. So you would write like, I'm so grateful and happy for, and write the goal or vision that you want to manifest. Like, I'm so grateful and happy for my 5-bedroom mansion home. If
Yeah.
that's one of your dream, write as if you've already
Sure.
happened.
Sure.
So that's what I'm like. It's the routines and rituals where your mind and soul are in alignment with your body because everything you visualize, you say the affirmation, you tap, are you actually feeling in your body? If you aren't, it's not going to be synced. It's not going to be aligned. And the soul work that you do, like getting the birth chart reading and everything, do you take actions? Because do you do the rituals? Because again, it needs to be tied to your body. Because as a human physical body, that's the only thing you have connected to this earth in this like in this lifetime. You're a human, so you need to be human being and human living. Not so. I think that's the part where it's like trying to come back to your present with gratitude.
Yeah. I love it. I think that is such a powerful thought here. I was able to, it reminds me of a story actually. If I asked someone this question last year when I was doing like a mentorship, and they said that your spiritual health and your physical health are two different
Yeah.
um things. And you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
Because if you really care about your spiritual health, but your physical body can't maintain that, then what's going to end up happening is you're never going to be able to focus on your spiritual health because you won't be here anymore. And
Yes.
then in the other context is you need to focus on your physical health and all of the things that anchor you into this body, but you also can't forget about the spiritual work that you came here to do. So
Yeah.
it's this balance between both of these worlds and how to integrate that. And so one thing that I was thinking about as you were just saying this is it sounds like sometimes when you do a lot of the mental work and you do a lot of the soul work, you may be spending a lot of your time in the upper region of your body as far as the chakra system goes.
Yeah.
And it sounds like one of the exercises that you would like to get into with embodied alignment has a lot to do with kind of coming back into your body,
Yeah.
coming back into your lower chakras. Would that be correct?
Yes. One thing I want to say, like, I think there's a debate going on about this, but maybe biologically, and if you're in your spiritual healing journey, women or maybe even divine like divine feminine, if you're on the
Yeah.
feminine side, naturally they are in their upper chakras. Have you ever observed that? Like feminine are in their upper chakras and the masculine energies are in the lower chakras?
It's unique because I've seen it flip. I have seen this in people,
Hmm.
doing sessions with individuals, and you're feeling their energy. You
Hmm.
could tell when someone is living in the lower part of their body, or if they're living in the upper part of their body.
Yeah. So for me, it's when you do so much healing from personal experience. I think because the way I started, um, I wasn't like maybe when I was younger, I did learn like classical dance, music, arts, and all those stuff. But moving my body, being in touch with my body, not for an art, not for a goal, but just for the sake. Like, for example, daily working out. It can be walk, it can be going to the gym. I never was that when I was young. So I think I never had an outlet for a physical release
Yeah.
of things and everything. I think the meditation or visualization or even journaling is such a beautiful outlet, right? Like getting things out of our mind, brain dump, and everything. So that's why when I started with the soul work and then the mind work, because I got to know so much about my birth chart and like the karma and like everything, like relationship with parents, all of that stuff. And not just my past or present, also like what can be my future. I started in the upper chakras because
Yeah.
I started easily being in the 5D, you could say.
Mhm.
And coming back to 3D felt difficult because of mind did remember some stuff, but I never connected my mind and body. Even though my body kept score or it remembers so much more, it I never moved my body the way I wanted to or had to, like in a sacred way, not just like, oh, I need to figure this out, or I need to figure out. So I think that's what it's like. Coming back to root chakra, your sacral and solar plexus is the foundation. Like I said, like if you want to have a regulated day, like where your nervous system is regulated, if you want to have a productive flow day, which is peaceful and calm for your body, you need to start your day with yourself, right? You need to start a day with a low dopamine. You need to start the day with healthy dopamine, like maybe sunlight or water or things like that, not first thing scrolling on the phone.
Yeah,
Same,
totally.
same way, like it's sometimes easy to get your higher chakras because of the visualization or the meditation or the affirmation. And in simple terms, if I have to say, visualization is kind of similar to dreaming and daydreaming. We naturally do that. But coming back to having a very strong foundation can feel scary and difficult. That's why, like, you need to sometimes force yourself, create those routines and rituals to ground yourself, get that financial, emotional stability, and then build your self esteem and self confidence, and then live your life with like doing things for pleasure, for creativity, art, for love, for myself first is important because those three chakras are the things that kind of as like an inner child thing, like an inner teenager thing, and early adulthood thing, if you could say.
Yeah.
So coming back to lower chakras, if I have to give an example, like in your root chakra, we all know it's by denoted by red.
Yeah.
And when it's balanced, you're going to feel secure and present. But if it's imbalanced, it's the anxiety, restlessness, fear. And the easiest way to ground yourself is walking barefoot on grass,
Hmm.
or even sleeping on a floor and putting something weighted on yourself, like a weighted blanket or pillows, like feel that heaviness and your body touching the floor. So maybe
Yeah.
in your or something like that. Sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is the color orange, and this chakra relates to your creativity, your sensuality, and denoting how emotionally open you are. Your sexual energy is your creative energy. Anything that you birth, be it physically birthing or even us creating content, this podcast speaking, we are
Yeah.
creating. And everybody in the world are artists, are creators. So if you want to be able to have an output, you need that to be open. When it is not open, you feel a lot of shame. You feel that there is no pleasure in your life.
Yeah.
And for that, it would be to moving your lower part of your body, like taking warm baths and even physical touch, like hugging yourself. And the third one, the lower chakra, would be the solar plexus, which is the color yellow. And solar plexus is the chakra which deals with confidence. I am confident. I am powerful, like the willpower, the clarity.
Yeah.
And when it is imbalanced, it's going to be like a lot of digestive issues, a lot of people pleasing and trying to control because you don't have that self confidence. So for this one, it would be something like speaking out affirmations, especially in the affirmation that start with I am, because anything that you say after I am, it becomes your identity. So I would say like coming back to your low chakras is not difficult, but if you've never done it, you have to consciously kind of like force yourself and put a reminder and be like, okay, I need to do this.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3 days a week, or if you need it more, every evening, I will pick one chakra and I'm going to do this. It's hardly 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
that will help you with so much grounding, and it's going to build that foundation, and then it can rise to your heart chakra, which kind of is the middle ground to the lower and upper chakras.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that you did that. And I hope for anyone listening, this is a great tool to integrate into your everyday life. And creating a habit takes time. And
Yeah.
that takes having grace for yourself because it's going to take efforts to be able to do this. And so there are so many different ways to accommodate, to work with those parts of yourselves, those different chakras, and helping to open or elevate. So one of the questions I was going to ask, and I feel like you kind of started to get into this, is if there's a listener right now that feels very much disconnected or feels very much like they are either disassociating, what advice or wisdom would you have to offer them as far as beginning the process of feeling safe enough or feeling that it is okay for me to come back to the body, whether it's through grief or anger or whatever the cause is of the disconnection or the disassociation.
Mhm.
You have any advice for anyone that may be experiencing this right now?
I want to start by saying, if you have lived your life in chaos for a long time, that becomes safety. You would not even know what safe means, and
Mhm.
it might even scare you
Yeah.
because for a long time, your chaos was calm. So the calm becomes the chaos if you're trying to lean into that. Um, to be safe in your own body, to feel safe enough in your own body, if for a long time you felt like, I don't know what I'm doing, or like it feels like a disassociation, I would say, what are the things that you're already doing in your life right now? Can you audit them based on your routines and rituals? When you do them, be it a task, be it like spending time with someone, being having meals while watching TV or a screen and having meals without that. These are some of the examples that came to my mind. How do you feel after them? And I'm pretty sure when this question comes up, some of us can think of like, okay, these are the some of the things or these instances or circumstances, or I know I don't feel safe enough when I do this, or there is this part of me where it feels like I don't belong, or you could say like um sacral or solar plexus, like I don't feel confident enough, or I struggle with some insecurities, or
Yeah.
pleasure, being sexually open or embracing my sexuality, it feels like taboo or I'm scared of it. Like when you say these statements, you know that these are the key points and areas where you feel you are not safe enough in your body, right?
Yeah.
To come back or to get back to safety is as simple as to regulate your nervous system. And it means that maybe for a long time you were in fight or flight or fawn or freeze. Now you need to come back to rest and digest. There's like a
Yeah.
window of tolerance everybody has. And when you go up or down the window of tolerance, that's when your body is dysregulated. The moment it happens, there's a science. Your brain is literally like, okay, we need to fight. We need to keep her safe because something bad is happening. She's going to die. You're not going to die, but that's what your brain thinks.
Yeah.
Its only job is to keep you safe, nothing else. Safety above happiness, about joy, about fun, everything. So for a long time, if you were had a difficult childhood or traumatic home, or you lived in chaos, like you never paused it. Now, the first thing that I want to say, like the easiest thing, just slow down. Everything that you're already doing, do it slower. You eat your meals for 15 minutes, take 30 minutes to have your meals. You do your task like the dishwasher, loading the dishwasher, or mopping, vacuuming, like very quickly, like it's a task. Do it slower, make it a ritual. Spend the time, like tell your body, like take an exhale, put your shoulder down, and like we can slow down. We can do it slower. We are not rushing. Like we still have time. And even if you don't have time, it's okay if I can do just 2 tasks today and I'm going to put everything tomorrow or the day after. You don't need to do 10 tasks at a time. You need to understand that your mind can have amazing capability and capacity to, because it processes information so quickly. But when you use mind body connection to do a task, it gets slower.
Yeah.
Your hands cannot move at the speed your thoughts are moving.
Yeah.
Just think of it like, if I have to tell you a sentence, I'm pretty sure like I'm saying one word, but my mind already is like 5, 6 words ahead, right?
Totally. Yeah.
That's why nowadays, I think many of us have lost touch of it. Like if I ask somebody, even myself, take a pen and paper and write, my speed is very slow
Yeah.
compared to me sending you a voice note or talking.
Yeah.
Why? Connecting my mind and body, because whatever information is happening in my mind, that statement should get processed. It should signal to my body parts, to my fingers and the pen, and I need to write.
Yeah.
But that is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Because in this age and time, everything is like quick and quick and quick, instant gratification. No, that's gonna literally kill you, like physically kill you and mentally like destroy your health in every way. So where can you slow down? You don't need to start any new activities now. Whatever you're doing, give yourself time
Yeah.
and start your day and end your day with yourself. Nobody like, and if possible, if you have other people like your spouse or partner or children, physical connection with people, yes. When I say with yourself, if you're living by yourself, it should be like probably just 1 hour with yourself. No social media, no phone, no nothing. When you do that, throughout the day, your body figures out this is the anchor, this is the standard I need to chase. Not like the doom scrolling, not the quick dopamine from social media, but the slow version that she gave me in the morning. Oh, she woke up, she had warm water, she had some sunlight, and now she is getting ready, making breakfast. She's eating her breakfast slowly. Okay, this is the standard. This is the tone for today. We're gonna go the same way.
Hmm.
But once in the 10, 15 minutes you wake up, you're like, scrolling and everything, your mind is like, it wants dopamine. It's going to be like,
Yeah.
oh, is this the tone for today? Okay, we're going to keep chasing this. So
Right.
I think this is the thing, like to feel safe enough in your body, everybody, it means different for different thing. For some of them, it's the thrill, the adventure. For some of them, it's the calm and peace. But notice that safety, you can define it whatever you want, but for your body to feel safe, it needs to slow down more than you know. Like if you're running on I don't know, like 100 miles
Cups
per
of,
hour.
yeah, yeah. Or cups of coffee or whatever you're doing. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I would say just start with that. And I think this would be like hacking your physical body into slowing down. And I want to again stress again, like when your body knows that you're slowing down,
Mhm.
it will immediately connect with your mind and soul, and then all three are going to be in alignment. So these are simple ways like no phone, sunlight, and
Yeah,
starting your day, ending your day with yourself. Like
totally.
whatever you're doing, just do slower. That's all I have.
I think that's such wise advice because we do move so fast. And I think out of the way that society is conditioned to move so fast and to try to operate at that level is just not healthy.
Yes.
And so I think, as you were saying, just one of the books that I was reading this year was called Conscious Grieving. And one of the things she talks about in this book is the need for us as human beings to create and engage with ourselves by creating a time
Yes.
that is just for you. So if you have a schedule for you, your children, your partner, your whatever it may be, you can also have a scheduled time slot for yourself where you take 20 minutes for you. And whether it is, this is the time where I'm going to slow down, or this is the time that I need to feel my emotions, or this is the time that I need to do whatever it is, you can carve out that amount of time to engage with yourself and have that time for yourself. And as you start to develop that with consistency, you'll notice how the body positively responds. And you're going to feel happier. You're going to feel engaged with life. You're going to feel like there's a light switch that has been turned on. It's just things change. So I love that you brought that up. What I just want to say is up until this point, I appreciate every wisdom that you're sharing with us right now. We're going to take a 2-minute break and we're going to come right back with some more juicy information. We have a few more deep questions to get into. But thank you so far. This is awesome. I love everything you're sharing. So we'll be right back and we will come back with the last couple of questions that we have. I hope you're enjoying this interview with Lahari. This is such a powerful, powerful subject, and she's bringing so much amazing wisdom to the table. On this small little break, I just wanted to take a moment to share a little bit about what I'm offering right now at the Star Whisperer. So, as you'll notice right over on my screen, I have two different things I want to talk about. The first one is I am preparing to release some astrology classes and programs, and I will be discussing things from the foundations of evolutionary astrology, the philosophies behind evolutionary astrology, getting into understanding and interpreting signs and houses and what all of this means, so that if you would like to understand astrology, this is going to be your opportunity to start learning with me. On top of this, I just want to share that the way in which I'm going into these classes and these programs are not only going to be for students of astrology that want to learn with me, but also individuals that are passionate and devoted towards self-realization and self-development. I personally utilize astrology and believe very deeply that astrology is a tool towards soul realization and self-development. So everything that I teach, as you'll learn through these classes, will be catered in this direction. So whether you are new to astrology or know or have some level of understanding of astrology, these classes and programs will be perfect for you, because not only will I teach you the astrology approach, but I'm also going to be bringing forward years of spiritual research that I've done and study, sharing different philosophies with you and how we can integrate and utilize this, and how evolutionary astrology is such a perfect complement towards our journey of self-realization and self-development. Number two is, if you're completely new to me, I do have a Patreon account, which this is one way that you can support me. I have 3 different memberships. I have a basic membership for just supporting me, keeping these types of podcasts going, my YouTube going, and all of these different things going. You could do that directly through my Patreon account. All of the videos that I do for YouTube and for podcasting and whatnot are all uploaded to my Patreon account. I have 2 other memberships, which is an opportunity for you to receive more weekly messages from me about the astrology that's happening. I will upload some tarot insights, cards for the month, cards for the season, and I will be doing monthly webinars over there, which if you sign up for the other 2 memberships, you get access to. In those memberships, I talk about some important topics for that month. It could be an astrology transit that I want to talk about. It could be questions that people are asking, and I will pull one person's chart from the group of people and give a little bit of a reading of that individual. So all of this is available for you. If you're interested in signing up for my Patreon, all of that information could be found if you go to my Instagram, if you go to my website, which is thestarwhispererofficial.com, you go to Instagram at thestarwhispererofficial. And when you go there, you go to the link in my bio. The link to my Patreon is there. And if you are interested in a evolutionary astrology class or one of these programs, please send me an email at thestarwhispererofficial@gmail.com or send me a message on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. I'm just gauging the interest of those that are interested in studying this material with me. So go ahead and send me a message and I will see you over there. And let's get back to this interview. Okay, welcome. I'm back for almost like part 2. I'm super excited. Thank you again for all of the wisdom that you have shared so far. And one of the questions that I was actually thinking about on our small break was when we're talking about individuals that may feel like they are disassociating from or disconnected from their body. I was actually thinking about the idea that may be very relatable for some people that have experienced some intense levels of trauma. How does that show up in this type of work with embodied alignment and going through this process? How does trauma live in the body? And you know, have you worked with anyone that has had this type of experience? And what would your wisdom be for someone that could be experiencing this? Someone, that has experienced pain, hurt, or trauma that's tied to their sacral chakra, for an example, or their heart chakra. You could pick whatever you want to use as an example if you're going to share one, but I'm just curious about how do you advise for this type of situation?
I think that's a really good question because I would say for any of us, if you're on this spiritual journey where you are healing yourself and want to be that guide, the coach, the teacher for others to help friends, family, or the community, there was something that triggered that beginning, right? It was something which maybe was painful, a physical pain, emotional pain, or mental pain. Like I would say all of those are traumatic. And that caused this like a domino effect, which led to where we are now. So I personally had so much that I had to uncover, unlearn, and release. And also with the people I've worked with or with my friends and family also, I've seen time and again, maybe in the intuitive sessions that I do, but also through the birth charts and everything, clearly it shows where and which areas they store and why do they store and how they can release. Coming back to my personal example, I don't know, we didn't touch into birth charts, but since I'm an astrologer, just a small thing, like I have Saturn in my 3rd house in Aquarius. So 3rd house deals with communication, speech, speaking out, your siblings, short distance travel. Having Saturn in any house, it tells you this house and this planet, this area of your life, you might struggle. You need to go through so many lessons and you need to master those lessons to become a master in that area of your life. So having that in third house meant my throat chakra for a long time felt blocked. I didn't even know it felt blocked because, as I said before, the chaos that you're living in becomes the normal. That's the calm. You don't know anything else. Only when I started doing these work, probably in 2021, I started raising my voice, saying no. It was very uncomfortable to me and to the people who were hearing that. And
Totally.
yeah, right? Like, it's like, who is she? What's happening?
Yeah. Don't say no to me. You're not allowed to do that.
Exactly. And then now, 2025, when I put so strict boundaries that I don't even think if they're feeling bad or hurt, not just to say that I'm mean and I'm hurting them, but it's about keeping my peace. And it's coming from a place of love and respect. If I really love you and respect you, I'm going to put a boundary. I'm going to have those hard conversation and confrontal conversation. If you didn't matter, I don't think I would even explain or have those conversations.
Totally.
So coming back to throat chakra, um, for a long time, how to communicate, how to speak, how to put my feelings into words, I didn't know because in childhood, early teenager, I never felt understood. I never felt seen and validated. My
Yeah.
views and opinions and emotions, whenever I expressed, um, it was shut down. Nothing to say that like my parents didn't love me, they did the best they could, but also because that's what they thought love was, parenting was.
Yeah.
Even they had to learn, even I had to learn. So I think at that time, that felt like I need to shut down. I cannot voice. Let me just close everything up physically and literally, and don't ask, don't question. It kept going on and on and on. I feel that also tied into my PCOS because PCOS it is an imbalance in hormones, but it is also very psychological. And it literally ties to your ovaries, which is your womb, and your sacral and your
Yeah.
pleasure. And I've heard this time and again, your throat, the trachea, the cords, and everything, biologically, they resemble a woman's womb.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you your womb is unsafe or it's kind of like this is related to that, that is related to this because I could
100%.
speak my voice. Somehow I think it connected and a wall was built emotionally and physically, and I had to protect myself.
Totally.
In that way, I never didn't uh, I didn't respect my own voice. I thought because I was not heard, not seen, like my voice doesn't matter, my opinions don't matter. It's okay. And I lost a lot of self-confidence, which again ties to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
lower chakras there. So once I started healing, and then it came up like, these are not my thoughts, these are not my beliefs. It was just other people projecting that. And they were going through their own process, own healing, own journey, and I made them mine because I didn't know any better. When
Yeah.
you're a kid, when you're a teenager, that's what happens. Or sometimes best friends, colleagues, you just absorb everything at a young age because you don't know anything else. So once I started healing those parts of me and coming back to started feeling safe in my own body, started identifying what is my true identity, my self-concept, my self-image, then I removed those other people's thoughts and beliefs and ideas out of it. And it was very difficult when I started doing readings because I used to question myself. Am I telling the right thing? Do they even
Right.
resonate? Like my voice used to shake. I used to be so nervous. And then now when I tell the same thing to my friends, they're like, we never thought that. Like 4 years ago when you were speaking, like I don't think we ever felt that. But like inside, I used to feel that.
100%.
So I think that's the thing. Like trauma can live very differently in everybody's body. Your birth chart can help to identify, but also you clearly know in your physical body where you struggle. It's
Yeah.
it's something time and again, it will keep coming up until you take conscious action intentionally to do something, because now the way I'm speaking and communicating, some days I'm like still in shock, like where I was and how I've come. But I know that I put the effort, I put all the work in to come here. And it was because I had to master being good at communication, good at voice, to share my
Totally.
share my life. So that's the thing. I also feel because I'm expressing, that self-expression channel is now open. I'm also healing my PCOS.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
totally.
yeah, putting a boundary, like this is me saying things and putting a period, not explaining. So that's the thing, like which part of your body, notice your physical body that you have pain. There are some people like lower back, hips, like for years, but it's not serious, like they have like some
Something severe,
yeah, it's not like a medical condition, but they still don't know why. It's not like some hip bone
like a
broke.
discomfort.
Yeah, it's just a discomfort.
Yeah.
And some of them, they're like, they do quick fix. I'll do a massage, I'll do this, I'll do that, it'll help. Sure, you sometimes physically your body needs those quick fix, do it. And this is where I again want to plug in and say that it's not standalone. Your physical body is not standalone. It's definitely
Totally.
related to your mind and your soul. Like for me, my not being able to speak up, like I used to stutter, or like when somebody asks questions, or like even though I was gifted and even though I was like brilliant at my work, at my studies, like the spoken communication, the soft skills, that was always a challenge.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like these are the things you need to do daily, little by little, to become good at it. There is
100%.
no shortcut to that. So for somebody who has lower back issue, it's related to your root chakra, because it says that you fear financial instability.
Yeah.
You fear that you don't have that foundation, like money is going to go away, or you don't have money. It's to the point where like it rules your life and everything. So no matter how much money you make, you still have that belief that it's not going to be enough.
Hmm.
And that ties to your root chakra there.
Yeah.
So what is the best way to do that? Yes, go get massages. Yes, do acupuncture and all of it, but rewire your belief that you
100%.
are enough and you are stable and it's not going to go away, and like you
Totally.
have skill, you have the knowledge. So that's the thing. Like another thing, like I know throat chakra, but there was a long time I used to grind my teeth at night and
Oh,
clench my
like
jaw.
TMJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the worst. It's so bad. But I think it was all connected because I wasn't voicing and saying what I want to say, what I need to
Totally.
say, and questioning and doubting and everything. So I think these are the ways, like you, if you know there are some parts of your body, like you have physical pain, there is this one beautiful book where it tells about what body parts are related to what emotions,
Yeah.
and how you can heal them and what they're related to. Like it's amazing. And even if you just know about the chakras and this, it's so good. Like, so
Yeah.
just sit with it and then learn more about yourself, not to like teach others or community. Like it's your body. Like if you cannot take care of your body, like health is well, like that's the most
Yeah.
important thing.
Yeah.
So get into
Totally.
that, and then you'll be like, oh, this is how it's connected. And maybe journal, maybe like you might not make that connection as soon as possible. And I guess that's why I am there. And that's why Richard is there. Like, we'll help you figure out with your birth chart, with your readings,
Yeah.
like, okay, these are the things you feel this in your body. And now this is your birth chart, this is your soul. Maybe we'll connect and we'll help you the reframing in the mind. And then we'll be like, oh, this makes sense because
Totally.
it's holistic. You
Yeah.
cannot segregate these parts and heal them separately.
Yeah. Which leads me to my next question. I just wanted to comment. Was the book you're referencing You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay?
That's a really good book, but I think there is another book. Let me quickly find that, but it's a different one. It's about like body parts and emotions stored. It's not one.
Oh, what
Yeah.
we'll do is at the end of the podcast today, you can send it over to me and I'll add it in the description for everyone.
Okay.
Whatever what the name of that book is. Um, the other question I wanted to ask, because we are talking so much about healing and integrating mind, body, and soul and becoming embodied and aligned. I guess the magical question would be for you, what does it look like when we reclaim and we realign and we are embodied? What would it look like for someone to be living embodied and aligned? How would you describe that?
That's a really good question, actually. I would say I want to say you will know because you will know, but you just
I
know.
I get it. I get it.
But if I want to expand on that, looking back at your past, let me tell a little bit of my current reality, my present. I am living the life that I wanted. I'm living in my answered prayer. This is something that I used to journal about, that I used to write gratitude affirmations, visualization, all of it, and it is happening. All that to say, you ask for something, you pray for something, and it comes into your life. Are you enjoying it? Are you grateful for it and truly treasuring it? Or are you looking for the next other thing that you want to achieve, the next goal, the next vision?
Ooh.
Like on and on and on, coming back to, are you a human being living this life, being present, truly present in this moment?
Yeah.
Or are you like, I need to do, there are 15 things on the vision board for 2025. It's already June 21st, and I have done only
Yeah.
5 things. I need to do it. Like, who told that you should do that?
Yeah. Totally.
Why is there should in your life?
Yeah.
Like,
This
right?
makes me think of a loaded subject that I want to talk about in the future, all about desire. And are we ruled by desires? Or are we aware of our desires that are like that? It almost feels like for a lot of people, it's just this endless list of things that you have that you want to do. And I want to say, I don't think there's something wrong with an individual that wants to desire those things, but there's something about embodied and alignment with mind, body, soul that somehow, some way, certain desires don't really feel that desirable anymore,
That,
because there's a moment where you start to find a sense of joy, authentic joy, with just being. And there's nothing I really need right now that is going to make a shift right now in my life. I'm in a state of joy. And I love how you said that, because, like I said, I think in the future we'll totally talk about desire, because I think it's a very complicated and spiritual concept. Um, and
yeah,
so there is something to that about living in that space of just joy and not needing something else to satiate that thirst and hunger for more.
yep. I
Um, Go
I
ahead.
want to add what you said, because when you said that, something I clearly remember is two things. One, um detachment. Detachment is very, very important. If tomorrow when you get up, nothing changes in your life, nothing adds to your life, are you truly content?
Yeah,
That's hard. It's not easy because the way we have grown up, society, friends, community, or even your own conditioning and the way the beliefs you have in your mind, I think I want more. It's not wrong to want more, but you need to understand like what is it that you're wanting, what's the
yeah,
intention, what it's going to add. If
yeah,
you're at that stage where like if I get up tomorrow, nothing changes in my life, I'm truly content and happy, you know what happens? Everything that you want is actually going to come to your life.
bingo. Yeah,
The way we manifest things or desire things, like you were saying, I think it's going to be a beautiful topic. Like people approach it in a very wrong way, like this. But it's the feel at the end of the day, we think if I have that, I'm going to get this. If I have this, I'm going to feel this way. But
totally.
if you approach it the other way, like, I want to feel this now. I want to feel the joy, the peace, the contentment, the happiness, or whatever feelings like peace of
Yeah,
mind now. And then you would not be looking for that one thing. It would be that feeling, and that feeling can be got from anything which you never thought of before.
Correct. Yeah, totally. I
So,
call it I call it like you're in that receiving state
yes,
of what because you're not going to complain. You're going to be so grateful because you're getting more of that what you want to feel. And it is a mindset shift, it is a body shift, and that is so powerful. I
yeah.
have I
So
have two questions for you. Two questions that I think are juicy, juicy questions that I'm curious to see what your mind, body, and soul feel. Um, one is based upon your spiritual journey up until this point, being June 21st, 2025. If you had a giant microphone or megaphone in which you could share a whisper with every soul on earth, what would you wish that you could whisper to each individual?
you're not broken. You're just conditioned to forget who you are, who you were, and who you are going to become.
Mm,
You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to hustle for healing. You're already enough. You're already safe. You are very loved. And coming home to yourself, be it the inner child home, be it the inner teenager, or for some of us, be it the future higher self home, it doesn't have to be hard.
yeah.
Say it now that I am living my life to the best I can. I'm going to live my life to fulfill my desires, and everything that I want is already mine. So it's not going to run away. I'm just going to pause. I'm just going to live today to the maximum, to the best, and seek more opportunities, create more opportunities of laughter, joy, love in my body, in my home, in my mind. And that's enough.
It's a beautiful answer. I love that. And I feel like my second question, you're starting to get into it. And I always ask this, which is in this vast journey between the soul and the sky, what do you think we're really here to remember?
We are here to remember that we belong. All of us want to belong to something, to someone, to somewhere, because as humans, we want the connection. Even if we are like, no, I'm independent, I want freedom, we want to belong. And I think you did belong when you were born, otherwise, you wouldn't be. But as you grow older, you just forget that you're whole on your own, and there are so many people around you who want to be around you because of your unique gift, your sparkle, your magic, or just the way you are, just your soul. So you're not here to perfect yourself, you're just here to experience yourself, learn and unlearn yourself. Because on this earth school, as a human body, maybe this is the only lifetime you'll be human, or maybe you'll be again. It doesn't matter. But I am born as Lahari on my birth date, on my birth time. It's going to happen only once. So I just want to experience everything. Look at my own life, zoom out from a third person perspective, and give myself so much grace because, again, coming back to it, like, I just want to belong, and everything that I've done till now is because I wanted to be heard, to be seen, to be validated, and like, just like needed a big hug from friends, family, community, and be held. So I don't want to be perfect. I just want to live life and experience everything. So to feel everything. And I just want to say that, like, if any of us, especially those people who are deep into spiritual healing, you can get caught into this and be like, treat yourself as a personal project. Know that you are not a project. You don't need to keep getting better. You're already better. You're already healed.
Mm,
Accept that and live in this moment. Maybe you'll have a better version. Maybe you'll have a better future. That's okay. You are working towards that. But right here, right now, we need to remember that to live fully, come back to the present and remember we are whole, we already belong, we are loved, and you don't need to be more perfect, more better, achieve more, nothing more outside of you. Everything is within you, and you're not here to become your higher self. You're not here to ascend. You are here to be life, and you're already that. Just be in this moment.
I love it. Beautiful. Beautiful answer. There's something that you said that I love, which is to experience yourself. I love that. To experience being you and
Yeah.
living this human life. Love it. Lahari, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much for being here. And I just want to reiterate that if you're interested in learning more about what Lahari does, or if you want to keep up with her because she posts a lot on social media, you could go to Instagram and it's the Spiced Soul, and give her a follow. And if you want to schedule a birth chart reading, a tarot reading, or learning more about these embodied and healing practices with her, go ahead and follow her and check it out. I appreciate you for being here and sharing all of your wisdom with us. I'm sure we will have many more conversations in the future.
Thank you so much for inviting me for the podcast. And I think it was a beautiful conversation and long time coming. And if people don't know, I want to say that like I've been getting readings with Richard from a
Yeah,
long time. He was also one of the first, I actually connected with him in Thumbtack, right? Like
yeah,
years ago. It might have been 2020 or 2021. I don't even
yeah.
remember.
I don't remember either. It was years ago, though.
Yeah, definitely has been like 4 years, at least 4 years. So we've been in touch, and then both of us have grown so much, but every time I get a reading, it resonates. So like I think that's why we connect. Like we've been on our individual journey, but now all these things you're learning about Vedic astrology and me wanting to start my business, it's somehow our paths interconnected and like
Yeah, it's a beautiful synergy.
yeah, so
Thank you.
I'm so glad I was on your podcast and it was a lovely conversation and hope to have more of these.
Definitely. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you, Lahari. I appreciate all your kind words and love. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
And to everyone listening in, thank you for tuning in for another amazing episode. And until our next one, have a great one.